Hi guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning in back to another video, and my name is Angela. If you're new here, and for those returning subscribers, I'd really like to give you a shout out. Thank you for the support this far. Thank you so much for your encouragement, and I am so glad that I've been able to inspire so many people to start making their journey to Europe, or to start even thinking about going to Europe, or even some of them that are still watching my videos from Qatar. It really encourages me that I'm making a difference in my generation. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the pathways that you can use to come to Germany, because Germany is a really great country, and of course it's something that I can encourage you, of course, to go for it totally. In another video, I'm going to be discussing of the advantages of coming to Germany, of living here permanently, but in today's video we are just gonna be looking at the various pathways that you can take to come to Germany and to become a citizen or even a permanent resident. So number one is through studies. Germany is known to be one of the countries that has the best education system in the world, and to top it up, the education is free. Of course, for most of the learning institutions, private institutions will still charge fees, but most public institutions will only charge maybe a small fee for term fees and all that. So that is one reason why you can opt for coming to Germany for education, and that would be maybe your bachelor's degree or your master's degree. And there are so many scholarships available that you can apply for, and please don't come and ask me which scholarships you can apply for. Please go online, go on Google and look at what is available for you for your course of studies. There is this thing called DAD, or DAAD, that offers scholarships to top performing students, and you can definitely watch out for that. And if you do not have, of course, the money to, or if you don't have the opportunity to apply for a scholarship, then if you have the money, you can still pay maybe your living expenses by yourself and still be able to secure a visa for study. And the good thing about this visa is that at the end of your study, you are given a grace period of 18 months to look for a job, and when you find the job, then you are allowed to continue to stay and to work. Yes, number two way that you can come to Germany is, of course, through work. And if you're able to secure work from your country to come to Germany, then you can get sponsorship from your employer, and they will give you the right paperwork for you to apply for the interview and move to Germany. This is usually not the easiest thing, because it is easier for the employers to hire people that are already in their country, because it is cheaper and it takes less time as compared to applying from outside the country. But I've also had people who have gotten hired maybe from Kenya and come to work in Germany, especially if they are working with companies that are already affiliated with other companies in Germany. Then it is just easy for them to go through that transition. And of course, number three would be through an Ausbildung. An Ausbildung is something called an apprenticeship in English, and it's like a dual studies where you are studying and partly you are working at the same time, and then it takes 3 years, and at the end of the time, then you have the professional qualifications to practice the skill. And for the Ausbildung, for most people whom I've had that have come to Germany through Ausbildung, it's usually the Altenpflege, or at least the Pflege like Ausbildung, to come and become nurses in Germany. And I think that it gets so much support, because this Pflege, or the nursing field, is on high demand in Germany, because Germany has a very highly aging population, and they need people to help take care of their elderly. So yeah, you can apply for an Ausbildung, and it doesn't have to be only in nursing, but I'm just talking about the fact that for most people that have had coming to the country for an apprenticeship, it's mostly for the nursing Ausbildung. But of course, other on-demand professions also can come and do their Ausbildung in Germany, and then at the end of their studies or whatever, be able to stay here permanently. The other point is through a marriage visa, and that is just self-explanatory. If maybe you are engaged to a German, then you can get married and then get sponsorship from this person for you to now get a family reunion visa to come and join them in Germany. And so many people have come through this part. Of course, most people have gotten their better halves online, and eventually the person has gone or traveled to their country. They have eventually gotten married, and the person has been able to fulfill all the requirements by the embassy, and they are able to come to Germany and of course stay here permanently. And if they are living together for 3 years, then this person is able to apply for citizenship. It's a pathway that so many people have used and successfully moved to Germany and started their families here. The other visa is actually just family reunion, not necessarily for marriage, but actually maybe if you have your parent here, then your parent can sponsor you to come here through the family reunion and join them. And this is especially applicable to children who are under the age of 16 years. Then they are able to easily get a visa to come to Germany and join their parents, because they have the right, as long as their parents fulfill all the qualifications, like to, let's say they're not depending on the government, they're working, they have their sufficient space to host this person, and they are able to prove that they're adequately able to take care of their children. When their children come to this country, then of course they can come through the family reunion. The other point is through humanitarian grounds. There are people that are suffering persecutions in their country, maybe political persecution, maybe because they are affiliated with a certain political group, they are facing like life-threatening situations, or people who have fled their homes maybe through the fear of genital mutilations or through the fear of forced marriages or things of that sort. There are also people who are getting persecuted because of them belonging to the LGBT communities. So these are aspects that people can use actually to seek humanitarian like protection in Germany and get to stay in the country if their story checks out. The other pathway that also so many young people have used to come to Germany is through coming as a volunteer or coming as for a volunteer year, and this is mostly applicable for people who are under the age of 30. I know that there is this program called BFD, and that is like Bundes Freiwilliges Dienst, something like that, and this one is actually open to people of all ages, where they can come to Germany and then work as volunteers in various organizations, especially organizations that are dealing with the elderly or dealing with children or dealing with people with special needs. Basically, I can say people who are coming to offer their services as caregivers or engage in any other activities. And you can check for the requirements of BFD online. And also there is another one called FSJ. They are so much related, only that this one, the FSJ, or called Freiwilliges Soziales Jahr, is like voluntary social year, where you can come and offer voluntary services in Germany for a period of 1 year as you get to immerse yourself into the culture and also to learn the language. So this one, the difference between the other one is that the other one is actually open to people of all ages, and the FSJ is actually limited to people between the 18 years of age and 27 years of age. So once you have crossed the 27-year mark, then you do not qualify for the FSJ. So yes, you can go into depth and check on these voluntary pathways. There are videos that people have made about these topics that you can benefit from. People who are actually performing these services, or people who have gone through it, they are better able to explain it. For me, I've just really heard of it because I have a friend who is doing the same thing, or has done the same thing for 1 year from Uganda, and that is how I came to learn about the program. It's also a pathway that young people are coming through to Germany, and at the end of their 1 year, they are able maybe to extend their visa or to extend their residency by getting into school, or by starting an Ausbildung, or by engaging in any other activity that allows them to stay in the country. Yes, usually you are supposed to return to your country after the 1 year, but some people, as I told you, this country is really great. When you come here, you do not want to go back. It is just what it is. So the other pathway is through au pair, and au pair is actually not a job, it's a program that allows young people also between the age of 18 and 26. Is it 26 or 27? I'm not very sure. to come to Germany or to other European countries, and not just in Europe. I think people also go for au pair in other English speaking countries like even America, Australia, Canada. But the aspect of it is like it's a cultural exchange, to the fact that you are coming to teach or to help take care of the young kids in the house, helping them with homework, helping them, like escorting them to school, organizing activities, preparing meals, doing some light household duties. And in return, the family supports you in your language learning pathway, maybe to learn German so you can enroll to a school. And when you are not taking care of these kids, then you are at least attending school. They offer free accommodation, they offer food, and they offer some pocket money. At the moment is, I think, 260 euros. And then at the end of that year, then your contract ends and you are supposed to also leave the country. People also come through this pathway and they end up coming here, maybe finding a spouse or finding an house building or finding this and that and those, and they're able to continue staying. So that is also a pathway that somebody can use and stay in the country. And there are also people who have come to Germany with a Schengen visa, and maybe they have come here and bumped into somebody that is interested in starting a life with them, and they've ended up, before their visa expires, going to Denmark, which allows, Denmark is like the Vegas of Europe, where you can just easily go, maybe make an arrangement for 3 days, plan your wedding, go get married, and get your marriage registered in Germany. There are some people that have been able to come through the short-term Schengen visa and get married and register their marriage and be able to continue staying here without having to leave the country. But actually that depends on the region. Germany has like 16 federal states, and every federal state is different. So something that could be acceptable in one state could be rejected in another state. So it just depends with which state you are living in. But yes, there are some people who have been able to get married with their Schengen visas and remain in the country, register their marriage, and gain a residency permit. So yeah, that is just something that I needed to share with you guys. You can check which pathway is applicable or is suitable for you, and then you can decide if it is something that you want to pursue. And of course, do a lot of research on that topic. If you feel like you're falling between the people that can do an au pair, then go online, simply use the Google browser, and you will get so much information. Because even if you come to ask me for information for something that I'm not really doing, like I'm not an au pair, if you ask me, I will still need to go to Google and get this information, or I'll still need to go to check on YouTube and get this information. Something that you can do it on your own and get in-depth information that will be more beneficial to you. So do more research, whether you want to become an au pair, whether you want to do the volunteer year. But the most important thing, if you are planning to come to Germany and stay here for long, is that you should first embark on the journey of learning the language. Invest in learning the language. Even me, before coming here to learn the language, I had learned the language from Kenya, and when I was in Qatar, I was still teaching myself the language. By the time I came here, I could read and understand signs. I could go to the supermarket and understand what the other person was saying. I could start the classes. I started from a class that was actually A2 B1. I could clearly understand what the teacher was saying without having to have attended a physical class of German ever in my life. So invest in learning the language. Invest in learning the language. Some people come to my Instagram and they are like, oh please, I see you're working as a receptionist, please connect me. And one, I cannot even connect you to a job in Germany. You have to come to Germany and then you can apply for a job. It's not like I know an agency, or did I use an agency to come here. No, I'm gonna be doing a Q&A later on. But yeah, please invest in learning the language. And if you have high language proficiency, trust me, even your visa application for whatever pathway you are going to use, whether it is au pair, whether it is volunteer, whether it is studies, then you have better chances, because the embassy knows that it will be easier for you to integrate and become independent and not have to depend on the government, because that is something that they are trying to discourage. And one reason why so many people get denied visa is because they look like potentially they might end up depending on the government, because they do not have enough skills, they do not have enough experience to sustain themselves. So these are things that you just need to take care of. Study the language. Don't be in a hurry. You want to come to Germany, you will be really frustrated if you do not understand the language and you're living in a territory that people barely speak English. They will look at you funny. Okay, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you benefited from the content. Please leave your comment down below if there is anything that I've left out or any video that you want me to do. Then I will try to at least do some research and give you more information about that topic. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful evening and choose.